Hi guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today we're reviewing LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, which was released on November the 6th in 2007 and released for a variety of consoles like the Xbox 360, the Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 3. Now, summarising the plot of the story will be quite difficult because this game is based on both the prequels of Star Wars and the original trilogy of the Star Wars franchise. So, if I can try and sum it up, it's basically good versus bad. There's these space wizards called Jedis, who basically can use this ancient thing called the Force, and you can use it in a variety of ways. And they're basically against things like droids, clones, the Empire, Darth Vader, the Emperor, and that sort of thing. So yeah, and I think this is a really good way to get into the Star Wars movies, even though the prequels are bad. And I know that there's LEGO Star Wars the Skywalker Saga coming out sometime this year, but I think this is a good game because this is one of the earliest Star Wars games, or earliest LEGO games, to not have voice acting. So if you look at a modern LEGO game, they'll have voice acted, so something like LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2, those will have some voice acting moments, in some of the cutscenes, like this.
This is a priority message Alpha. All Nova Corps. Can anyone hear me? We are under siege. Alert! Kang is attacking. Anyone?
Okay. Anyone else see a giant sword in the sky?
I can. It's right there.
Guardians? Kang the Conqueror is attacking. We've nearly evacuated everyone, but our last rescue ships are pinned down. We can't hold out much longer.
Relax, Nova Prime. The cavalry's here. No problem we can't punch. No payment we won't accept. Rocket, you're on stick. Groot, don't touch anything. Let's go kick some Kang. Whoa!
And in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga and in various other games that were released around this game's time, they use grunts or facial expressions like so. And I think this is a good way of showing the story in those kinds of cutscenes, because you can see the characters, emotions, how they're feeling, what they're going to do in a certain situation without the use of voice. And I think that's really a cool way to move along the story and just have fun with just seeing how it can be a story can be seen through characters who don't talk. And also we don't get to hear Jar Jar speak, so yeah, because Jar Jar just a really annoying voice. And yeah, and there are different amount of stages within each story. So I think there's about 6 levels, and they're all based on various parts of the game. So there's one with the Death Star. There's a level with with Yoda when Luke has to do training with Yoda, that sort of thing. There's a fight with Darth Maul, with Darth Vader, and various other levels that are based on the 6 Star Wars films. And you can play a variety of characters. So you can play characters as Chewbacca, Luke, Han, Leia, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, and a variety of other characters. Now, to access these levels, you'll be in this cantina with the band and a variety of other characters, just walking about and just minding their own thing. And you'll see these doors which will have the 6 stories, and you can go to different ones and basically experience the story. And within each chapter, you basically play with the characters that were in that particular scene. So, for example, in The Phantom Menace, in the very first chapter, you play as both Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. Now, if you're playing as first player, because this game can be played as 2 players, you can switch between Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon Jinn. But if you're in 2 players, one player will be Qui-Gon Jinn, the other player will be Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so on and so forth, and that it can have a variety of characters be in a certain amount of levels. Now, I think that's a good way to introduce play to the game, so you can see how the characters are, how they move, what abilities they use, and so on and so forth. Now, once you've beaten a particular level, you'll unlock free play mode. Now, free play mode is basically the same as normal mode, but you can choose any character, like any one character, and then you'll be given random characters. So let's say if I play in free play mode and choose Darth Maul, I might be then given C-3PO, R2-D2, the Emperor, and probably, let's say, Darth Vader or something. And I'll have to use those characters to go through the entire level. And yeah, I think that's a good way to play levels, because in normal play, you'll basically, get some collectibles as the characters you are, and possibly get, True Jedi mode, which is basically the Lego stud bar at the top of the screen, and every time you collect studs, the more it will fill up. But in free play mode, the characters you get will help you unlock, other things that you might not have done so before. And now it's time to show you some gameplay of how the game acts and plays and that sort of thing. Now, the gameplay itself is quite simplistic. If you're playing someone like a Jedi, you can basically just swing your Wii remote around to basically just use your lightsaber. And also for Jedi, they can have a double jump. So if you're in a tricky situation, you can basically double jump out. Also in the cantina area, as I said before in the review, you can basically go into any of the other levels or the movies, and basically just go into, well, basically first you just go into I think the first story, and then gradually after you've beaten a chapter, the other ones will gradually open up to you. And yeah, and every time you go to one, you can either go in free play or replay story. So yeah, and I think it's quite cool of how you can basically choose anyone that you've already unlocked. So let's say for free play I choose, let's say, Commander Cody. I would then be given some other characters I can play as. Oh, better skip this. Skip. Okay, there. And yeah, and basically you can use other characters' abilities. So stormtroopers basically can fire guns, but they only have one singular jump. So yeah. And yeah, and I really like it how in the story we can basically just just run around, and basically just go around and just basically just interact with the area around you. So yeah. And also, if you're playing in single player mode, you can switch between characters, so like so, and also yeah, basically if you press the 1 or 2 button on the Wii remote, you can basically switch between characters. So Yeah. And that's basically it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So my final verdict of this game is that I think it's one of those really subtle games that that everyone might have played when they were younger, but with the Skywalker Saga coming out in how many months from now, I think people should play that game over this game. But I think this game is good with its moments because there are really quite some good funny moments, like within its cutscenes. I think the levels are quite well structured, how in some parts of the level you can basically use the force to basically pull objects towards you, how you can use certain characters to get up to certain areas, basically just use a variety of ways to play the levels, and it's a really enjoyable game. And yeah, I think it's one of my favourite Lego games out there. So that's been my review for Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.